When these dads meet world, watching Boy Meets World. We grew up on the show, now we have kids and host a podcast. We watch each episode and then share our thoughts and grades. When these dads meet world.
They want you to take the roles.
I don't know how comfortable I am with you harmonizing with yourself.
Well, good-looking people, welcome back. Yes, I do harmonize with myself on the theme song periodically. It creeps Tyler out. I'm dad number one this week, Brett, and that's dad number two over there. Welcome to our weekly Boy Meets World podcast, Dads Meet World, where we like to dive into each episode one at a time in order and explore the ins and outs of the hyper-realistic world of Boy Meets World. Maybe I should just say hyper-real.
You could.
Or really hyper at times. And examine it through the eyes of just a couple of dads who grew up loving it and now have kids of our own at varying ages. So, Tyler, how's dad life treating you this week?
Torture? What? I don't like when you say that, Brett. No.
I think you're thinking things in your head again.
It's fine. We are dealing right now with potty training.
Oh, yes.
And we're doing both of the little ones at the same time. Unfortunately, one of them is taking to it a lot better and has been taking better to it. The other one, who is a little bit older now than we should have started earlier, is just fighting it a lot harder and being very independent. And it breaks my heart. So I'm off actually this week, my first week off since I started my new job. So nice taking a little breather, but having the intensity of thank you, potty training, and then also we had the pleasure of babysitting my niece and nephew. Also on top of that, makes it fun. So
that does
we always
like
said that we never minded having just our nephew before the other one was born because it was like, hey, he's around the same age. It's just like adding just one more. You add one more, what's the big deal? Adding a actual baby into the mix now is a big deal. Hi.
Yeah, it sounds
Can I help
like
you?
it.
Hi. Do you need some attention? Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like one of the fur babies needs some love.
Oh, yeah. Definitely was abused today by screaming children. Brett, should we give a kudos to the Pods Meet World people for the 5 million downloads they just did?
Oh, I didn't even hear about that, but sure, why not?
Yeah, kudos to them.
Kudos.
They have not
5
tackled
million.
Season 50 million.
50 million, yeah.
They have not tackled season 7 yet.
Nope, that's something we can claim that they haven't yet. So,
yep. Well, Brett, how is your parenting going?
My parenting's going all right. We've got the new middle school and high school campus opening up tomorrow officially. So we took a tour of the middle school campus tonight. Met some teachers, and
nice.
We got Asher starting off at the new middle school tomorrow, and fun stuff for him. Took him shopping because he's grown out of all of his clothes, basically.
Of course he has.
Needs some new clothes, so.
Isn't it weird how fast children grow?
Yeah. But on the plus side, one of the shirts he picked out is a Back to the Future shirt. So he's got a Back to the Future graphic tee.
Very nice. Brett, I got a question for you. Have your people, have they gotten into the movie K-pop Demon Hunter?
The oldest one has. The youngest one is very apprehensive about it because his friends his age have told him it sucks. But Abby's big into it.
Yeah. Well, for Christmas Eve, Sarah was trying to find a way for us to watch the Dick Van Dyke Christmas Eve, Rockin' Christmas Eve, because the girls who sing for the movie, they were going to be playing,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't find it, and Grayson was upset, and I said, well, what if we watched it? Because Sarah and Grayson watched it together, because Grayson had heard from friends at school, hey, you should watch this, we're all watching it, and so he was like, I would like to watch it, could you watch it with me? And Sarah's like, yes, I've also heard about it, I'll watch it with you. And so they watched it, they said, hey, it was actually pretty good. I'm like, okay, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got into this heated debate over one of the characters and if they were good or bad. And I said, this sounds like a fascinating topic. Why don't we let Get Dad involved, basically? So we watched it, and I now have their song stuck in my head, constantly playing. It's all very catchy. And it's worth watching. That's what I'll say. It has no right being as good as it is.
All right. So there you go. Dad number two's stamp of approval.
Yeah, no, I definitely approve of it. We tried to avoid the Demon Hunter realm because of the implications of that. Because the moment you say demon in something, it automatically puts a stigma to it. So we try to either refer to it as Huntress or K-pop Hunters, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So, but no, I approve. I liked it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, they're Abby and Toby are trying to convince Asher to give it a shot, so we'll see if that
Yeah,
happens.
it's never a bad thing to give something a chance, as long as
We've
it's approved by your parents.
we have long tried to teach our children you can't knock it until you've tried it, and that goes for
Yes.
food, that goes for TV shows, that goes for movies.
So, anywho, Brett, let's get into that synopsis.
That sounds like a good idea, Tyler. Good looking people, we are in episode 10 of season 7 this week, Picket Fences, wherein newlywed couple Cory and Topanga Matthews continue to look for a place to live, even though they already have one.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Jack and Eric get a new boss at the student union. This episode was written by Erica Montolfo, directed by Jerry Levine, originally aired November  21st, 1999. And yes, for those of you keeping track at home, that's only 2 days after last week's episode. This episode originally aired on a Sunday night.
Huh.
Currently enjoys an IMDb rating of 7.5, which is zero 0.6 lower than the last episode. Not a big surprise going from a Friday to a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And a Nielsen rating, last week's episode had an 11.50. This one dropped to a 10.10 million share. So yeah, Sunday Night Boy Meets World. I believe the first and only Sunday Night Boy Meets World we ever had.
This just should have been a two-parter episode. I don't know why. Like,
Yeah.
this was fully a two-part episode that should have been 2 parts and should have, like, aired one right after the other.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear the story behind why they ran part 1 on Friday and then 2 days later ran part 2 instead of running them both on the same night or giving a week between the two.
Reasons.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
granted,
this is during the time period of the Sunday night movie where they do like the
mhm.
TV movies, so they might not have had one. So
If depending on the way the counter falls, I'm not doing any much math in my head, but it probably would have been the Friday after Thanksgiving if they went to the week after.
yeah,
So maybe they just really wanted to get it out there instead of waiting 2 weeks.
probably.
And you've got a show that's still pulling in 10, 11 million viewers, you can get a little bit of you get a little bit of clout.
Yeah.
Well,
Man, could you imagine a TV show that brought in 10 million viewers a week?
Man, networks would kill for that these days.
I know, right?
Man, I look at shows on like the CW where 1.5 million share is solid.
Yep.
Man.
Well, that's the thing about all of those DC shows that was running on the CW and the Arrowverse. Like all of them were averaging around like 2 million, a million a view, and so
Mm-hmm.
that was enough to keep them all going.
Yep. Man, they would kill for these kinds of numbers. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is the world we can no longer go back to.
Yep.
But speaking of that world, let's dive right in.
Yes.
We're going to start off with Sean and Angela playing house, talking about their kids.
Yes, the worst couple in the whole show. I'm sorry. I mean, the best friends of the two main characters.
Yes, because apparently Cory and Topanga are staying with Sean and Angela. They're over there in their pajamas, and I guess they've been crashing in one of the bedrooms. It seems.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it actually does. We were pretty adamant last week that this would have been a perfectly sensible, at least temporary destination for them.
Brett. The placement of the two dorm rooms are literally catty corner to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is just an extension of that. Like instead of the the married couple and the non-married couple would just clearly both have a room and have a separate room. Like that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand other than to make sure that Rachel is not all by her lonesome, which I get it. They committed to this character and this actress, which again, I like Rachel. She's fantastic. She's wonderful. But like it makes sense just to have the two couples in that apartment and saying this is their first apartment, and then they could have disputes over apartment decisions and how are these two couples going to work
Yeah.
together.
Which couple gets what shelf in the fridge? You know, who's going to be taking care of what meals, and what about the dishes, and Sean
Right.
wants to get a dog. What does the other couple think of that?
Yes.
There's
The
a lot
amount
of
of hijinks they could have had just in that apartment.
yep. But they went their direction. They went to put Cory and Topanga in our hole, our dump, our sewer.
Yes.
Cory calls it lovingly, sarcastically lovingly. Because Sean and Angela are kicking them out, sending them back to their married dorms. Because
Yes.
Sean and Angela have not to this point been over there to even see what it looks like.
Which does sound kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, no, if I were Cory, I would not have invited them over either.
But from what they bring into that apartment is not all their stuff. Like they both have stuff from other places. Where is all their stuff?
No idea.
It's it is the you have to just embrace what this is like. They wanted them in a crap hole, even though it's a government run
state school run
institution.
funded institution that would never be able to have a building like that.
Yes, even
I
though all
was
those things are the situation.
I watched this episode with Kelly, and we commented back and forth on the ethics of that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
so the Matthews are kicked out. They have no other friends to go to.
Nope.
So we're gonna have a. Speaking of Rachel is going to move out of the apartment. She doesn't want to impose on Angela and Sean, so she's going to
Yes.
take a job as an RA in one of the dorms.
Yes. Now, again, Brad, this is why in headcanon for our podcast purposes, this has to be taking place in January.
Mm-hmm.
Because November makes no sense why a RA would start in November.
Yeah. I mean,
It
it doesn't make sense.
even in an emergency situation, the RAs would just flux and make it work.
Yeah,
And
they would just they would cover, other RAs would cover the floor.
right,
Or if it's a big enough dorm, you've got a couple of different RAs per floor, and that one RA would have a little extra to do, and other RAs in the building would help cover.
yeah,
You wouldn't bring in a whole new RA toward the end of the semester.
correct.
So it's got to be January. Which, man, that next episode.
I also watched ahead, and I was like, "Oh yeah, let's just watch through." And it's like, "Oh gosh, I don't know how to feel about this episode."
So Rachel's moving out. Sean
Yes,
is coming in with a big Saint Bernard. He's got a dog.
yeah,
'Cause
it
they're
doesn't feel appropriate to have a Saint Bernard in a apartment building.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, maybe a small dog, but really not a Saint Bernard.
I mean, at least a Doberman would work.
Yeah, this dog is too much dog for that apartment.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is a conversation that Angela and Rachel are having about not being a family versus being a family. And then here comes Sean with his big old dog, to add to their family.
Yeah. Which, fun fact, good looking people, for those who have apartments, or just like if you're renting a house, you know that you cannot legally get a dog or a cat or any sort of adoption animal unless you have a written notice from your landlord saying, yes, this person can have a dog. I didn't look
Mhm.
it up to see if in the 90s you had to have that, but today you have to have that.
I would assume that, especially in apartment buildings, you had to have that type of permission. Yeah, especially in a city as big as Philadelphia.
But Brett, this is a college and or communal
We're still
apartment
not
building
sure who
with any
runs the building.
rules. Yeah.
But let's check in on Jack and Eric because they're working
Yes.
they're working the shop. Jack, or the student union. Jack is the manager, and this girl comes wandering in.
Pretty
Her name's
girl.
Bridget.
Pretty girl.
Pretty girl, pretty girl. Eric's all over her.
Yes,
This
Eric
is
is in
Bridget.
love.
Eric is just infatuated, as he usually is with attractive women.
It's true.
Now, this is Bridget, played by Nicole Eggert. First and only appearance on Boy Meets World. 76 acting credits, including Fantasy Island, TJ Hooker, Who's the Boss, Charles in Charge, Baywatch, Married with Children, Gilmore Girls, and more. And I mentioned a handful of episodes ago that I had heard about a recurring character that the that the writers or the producers had wanted to include. This is her.
Mhm.
That they had at one time wanted to include her as kind of a foil and a recurring character for Eric and Jack. This was her.
Hmm.
We only get her for one episode.
I mean, she's a great foil for them.
She is, especially for Jack. I mean, she's got Jack's number, and
Brett,
I mean,
if this was truly the Jack and Eric show, she'd be a perfect antagonist, a perfect person for Eric or Jack to fall in love with.
mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it. This season proves that this show should have been split into two shows and allowed for Eric and Jack show to last for 3 seasons and get into more adult comedy and to have married Cory and Jack or Angela and Sean being in an apartment together, and they're trying too hard to have friends, but the problem is that friends were always together.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would always have this dynamic of like 2 people or 3 people would go and do something while the others remained at their apartments
Mm-hmm.
that were 5 steps away from each other.
Yeah, they tried to catch the Friends vibe in season 2 and 3 with adding Turner and Eli, and it didn't work there. And they're trying to catch it here, and they can't quite catch it.
They could, but there's nothing that's truly keeping them together and connected.
Mm-hmm. And you'd think that'd be natural on a college campus.
You would think so, Brett. Honestly, season 5 hits that actually really well. The problem is half of the cast is still in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So what would have made it easier is season 6, the apartment beside them now becomes available. I don't know, Angela, Topanga, and they get another girl. Let's call her Rachel. Move into that apartment.
They
Cory
move
moves
into 3B.
Right. Cory moves into the apartment with his brother and Sean, and he keeps bouncing back and forth because none of them can figure out which room he should stay in.
Mm-hmm.
It writes itself, Brett.
It does. It does.
I,
And maybe they run for more than 7 seasons. Who knows?
yeah, well, I mean, 7 seasons is still fine, but I think they truly they hit this line where they wanted Cory to have different college experience than his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Either they're really close brothers or they're not. And the show goes back and forth, and we'll get to a prime episode for that a little bit. But yeah, let's just keep going, Brett. I'm
Yeah, so Bridget is very self-aware that she is
evil.
the beneficiary of some nepotism, and she is a brat.
I don't know what that is.
And we find out that Eric really likes being talked down to and is a bit of a masochist.
Yeah. This is a weird side to Eric that I'm not comfortable with.
I'm really not comfortable with Eric in this side of him.
Yes.
I it's like it's that cringe humor that you would find in The Office, but taken one step further.
Yes. It's supposed to be edgy. They're in college.
It is. Well, you don't get much edgier than her telling Eric to suck on her toes, and Eric immediately does it.
Okay, can we just be honest for a moment? Cleaning toilets is one thing. It has to get done.
Yeah.
But that is sexual assault.
Yes, it is.
Or sexual harassment for at least, good night. You cannot have an underling do that. I don't care what your daddy's name is.
No, and I'm in a healthy new relationship.
Although, I do love that when she goes, I call him daddy. I call him daddy too. So relevant for our times, Brett.
Yeah, I mean, they play it for laughs, but Eric has found something.
Hey, when Eric throws on the charm, he throws on the charm.
Apparently so. So we'll leave them there. We're going to check out what Cory's been up to, because Cory has been house hunting without a job.
Yes. Hey, all he has to do is wait till 2005, and it's fine.
Yeah. And here's where we're going to meet. He's showing Topanga this lovely little house, a starter house with 2 bedrooms, 2 baths,
little cottage,
and a little cottage with a nook. You gotta have the nook. You don't know what it's for, but it's a nook. And here's where we meet Mrs. Stevens, Joanne Worley. First and only time we'll see her on Boy Meets World. 60 acting credits, including Adam 12, Emergency, The $6 Million Man, Hawaii 5-0, Chips, The Love Boat, A Goofy Movie, Mad About You, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Bones, The Middle, and more.
The Middle? Who's he play on The Middle?
I don't remember.
Huh.
But she is the most gregarious realtor I have seen in a long time.
Yes. She reminds you of Judy Hefferfeld.
She does.
Why couldn't it just be Judy Hefferfeld again, Brett?
Judy, it really should have been Judy on just the career wheel.
Mm-hmm. I would have thought that was more appropriate.
Yeah. But Topanga is not having it. She's trying to convince Mrs. Stevens that this man is a dope.
I do like that she's very clear on you should not be talking to him. Like, it's not appropriate.
Yeah. But she is gonna work her realtor magic on Topanga, because for just a trifle and a pittance and 2 parents who can sign, you
I
can
thought it's
have
just
the
a down
house.
payment.
Yeah,
Did she not say
the
down
down
payment?
payment. She talks about a down payment, but then they're talking about a housing loan,
Mm-hmm.
which are we going for a down payment and a loan? Are we just going for a loan? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just leave it in the ether there,
They're
but
just throwing out words. Hey,
yeah.
just out of curiosity, what was the name of the town that you thought Boy Meets World was taking part in? Or what borough was
Oh wow, I'm not sure. I'd have to go
it?
back. I'd have to go back like 2 seasons ago in my notes.
That's okay. I had a thought midway through as we were recording, so
I know it's I remember it was like on the northwest of the city proper.
yeah, we're not worried about it.
But yeah, so we've got this annoying realtor has convinced Topanga and
Very
Cory.
pushy realtor too.
Yeah, very, very pushy. Yeah. Convinced them that they're gonna try and get Alan and Amy to co-sign on this mortgage, on this
Mm-hmm.
house loan, which gives us some fantastic lines for the episode, such
Mm-hmm.
as, what is this? Well, it's a loan application for an $80,000 house, Amy. I don't like when you call him idiot, Alan. I didn't call him anything. Oh, I guess I must have thought it in my head. So they want them to sign a loan for an $80,000 house that if they default on, the bank can take Alan and Amy's house
Mm-hmm.
as collateral, because they're going to put up their own house as collateral for this 80. That is a massively lopsided loan,
Uh-huh.
because the Matthews house, Alan and Amy's house, has to be worth more than 80,000 at this point.
I would hope so.
They have to have so much more equity in it than $80,000. Oh. And you know what really bugged me about this scene, though, is why couldn't they just use the kitchen set? They had to use the living room set. They're there having their tea and their snacks, sitting at the couch. Why couldn't they just use the kitchen table? You know,
I think it's just to tick you off, Brett.
I think so. I don't know what they had to have been using the kitchen set space for that nook.
Probably. Well,
Yeah.
I think there's also a chance that the kitchen right now could be the new apartment
That's very possible too.
because they use it back to back. So
Yeah, I'm trying to remember any episode that has the new apartment and the kitchen in it. I'm gonna have to watch for that. Well, clearly the Matthews say no to this. Alan and Amy say no to this.
I don't like when you call them idiots.
I must have thought it in my head. But we finally get Sean and Angela over at the married dorm, and they're trying to make they're trying to make some positives out of it. Sean sees the possibilities in it. He looks at it and he says, "Cory, this is the kind of place we always wanted to get for ourselves." And I really respect what. Now, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because Sean and Angela are sitting, and Cory will call him out on this. Sean and Angela are sitting in the really comfortable apartment where they can lay on the couch in the sun with their dogs, sipping their coffee, nothing to worry about, really great atmosphere, very
Yep.
cozy. and just relaxed and everything. But Sean calls him on his crap.
Yeah.
He basically tells him to man up and to make his space his own, to fix stuff up, to have
Yeah.
some pride in where he lives. And I really respect that Sean is doing this. That it's going to take work to do it and to work at it. This is where he lives. Fix the pipes, paint the walls. This is where you live. Do something about it.
Yeah. My only problem with Brett is that he is the wrong messenger.
He really is. It's very, what's the word I want to use here? He's just not the right person to. It's the message Cory needs to hear, but because of where he lives right now, he is totally the wrong person to be telling him.
Okay, Brett, hear me out for a second.
Okay.
What if instead of this a dorm that we have, this apartment from the college, what if Cory and Topanga, the only option they had was to move into a trailer that was a hunter trailer that you find out that Chet had actually put aside for Cory, that it's like kind of comes, actually, Cory, this is your trailer, and you could even park it in the Matthews's parking, in their garage or over by their driveway or whatever, and that he's ashamed of it because he's living in a trailer, and it's something that he always took pride in not being in the trailer, and now he's in one, and that's the only option, and that's when it could actually offend his friend that he's like, I have to live in a trailer. He's like, I lived in a trailer my whole life. You never judged me, but now you're judging you, but really it sounds like you're judging me.
Mm-hmm.
And to say, you can take pride in this thing. You can fix this. This is yours. Do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. That would be a great move.
I don't know. I think the main thing that bothers me, Brett, is that it's the university's building.
Yes.
That bothers me so much.
It does. It's I love that they put them in such squalor to start out with, that they have only each other to rely on. I hate that it is university housing.
Yeah.
But
the reason they have such a nice apartment in Girl Meets World in Manhattan is because they sued Pembroke.
There you go. That's my headcanon. So let's check in with Eric and Jack, because Cory's got to think that over.
Don't you mean the beautiful couple of Eric and Bridget?
Oh, yes. Eric's got a poem that he wrote for Bridget. It's
Bridget, you make me fidget.
It's a hilarious sight gag where he pulls out this really folded up humongous piece of paper just to read.
I do love Jack's response to it.
You make me fidget.
Yes. And Jack gets fired. First he was demoted unceremoniously.
Yes, and now he is outright fired. Now, granted, telling your boss, shut your cake hole, Irene, and refusing to do what you're told is pretty much a fireable offense anyway.
Yeah.
But
I'm in a healthy new relationship.
Yes. And this is where Eric does his thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So Jack's fired. Eric's in a healthy new relationship, quote unquote healthy.
Yes.
And Bridget's in charge of the Pembroke Student Union. because Daddy's in charge of the university.
Yes.
And that's where we'll leave them for the episode.
Yes. Yeah. It's a throwaway thing. It's just a way to get away from the drama of Cory and Topanga. And
Yeah, I mean it's a B story that's just there for the sight gags of Eric and to give Jack a little bit of friction with someone.
yeah. Well, I think where they truly messed up too was that like Jack and Eric weren't dealing with the same thing. They have a new thing that
Mm-hmm.
they're now dealing with, and it almost feels like if they either just kept the whole triplet thing going or introduced Bridget in that first episode, then we'd have 2 episodes of Bridget. Did you hear that?
I did.
I hope I still have a garage. Just a lot of ice just fell.
All right then.
I'm not sure where, but it did.
Anyway, so let's go back to Cory and Topanga, who are
Yeah.
gonna fix a sink without doing any research or asking for any help.
Well, before we get to the fixing, Brett, I'd like to give kudos to the character of Topanga in this moment.
All right.
Because one could argue that last episode she was in kind of a depressive state of
Mm-hmm.
this is harder than I thought it was going to be. We're not getting any help. What are we supposed to do? And the person that is always positive, the person I can always lean on, I'm not getting what I normally get from him, which is positive optimism.
I just watched the New Year's Eve episode the other day, and she was all buck up, buckers.
Yes. And so I love that she just goes, we're not moving into that house. We're not gonna get help from anybody. This is our life.
Yeah. Cold dose of realism.
Yeah, which is wonderful. You need that person in a relationship, I'm a firm believer.
Yeah. So they're gonna.
It's not me in my house. I know that for sure.
Yeah. But they attempt to work on the sink. Doesn't go well initially, so they decide to play Swamp Thing.
Yes.
We get a look inside the Randy lives of Cory and Topanga for a little bit.
Randy.
Then Kelly, the neighbor, comes over with her second appearance with the baby.
And that last appearance.
Yes, last appearance. Topanga offers to babysit for her, so she can go see a movie or something. Kelly just wants to sleep for an hour.
Yeah.
So Topanga's gonna hold the baby, watch the baby, while Cory is gonna fidget with stuff under the sink, doing who knows what because he doesn't even have any tools.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get bugged incredibly by him doing nothing under the sink because I've done a lot of stuff under my sink in my time.
We'll get to that in deep dives, Brett. We can have a chunk of time just for that
All right.
soapbox.
So Topanga winds up putting the baby to sleep. Boy, that sounds stark. Topanga lulls
down with the elbow.
with the people's elbow. Topanga lulls the baby to sleep. Cory fixes the water. He manages to get the water to stop running so filthy and gets clean water out of the sink. Mm-hmm. And they both realize that this is the place they're supposed to be through these things. Topanga is being a good neighbor. She's there to help Kelly. Cory has been able to fix something that he didn't think he could fix. He's able to make something good out of what previously he saw was just nothing, was a hole, was a mess. And then we contrast this with Sean and Angela enjoying their apartment, sitting in the sun, sipping their coffee, enjoying their easy life. And Sean's realizing that Cory was right. This is too easy. You know,
Yeah.
he's kind of skipping ahead a few steps, basically.
Well, Brett, he says something very important.
Mm-hmm.
What would we be doing right now if we had people not helping us with rent?
Mm-hmm.
Which would indicate Jack's probably helping with rent, and either Angela's father or Rachel is still paying rent.
Yeah.
So, literally, they're playing house.
Oh yeah.
Like, they have food, they have every necessity right there in front of them because they're playing house. And
Mm-hmm.
one could argue, Brett, that Topanga's tuition paid for Sean to live there.
Mm-hmm.
Or her room and board, whatever. But yeah, these are all those annoying things that I'm like, this cannot be happening in November. This is not a November thing.
Mm-hmm. This is a
So,
January thing.
yes, this is January. December, even. Late December, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Getting ready for the new semester. Yeah. So they decide they're not ready for that space yet. And they're gonna basically give it up somehow. We don't know how yet, but they're just not ready. They're not ready to get married yet.
Yeah.
Even though Sean wants what Cory and Topanga have again.
Yes. You know, the mark of a healthy relationship where you want what other people have.
Of course. We haven't talked about that at all. So we check back in with Cory coming over to Alan and Amy's in the living room
Drink
again.
it.
Drink it, old man. I mean,
No
drink
money
this,
given,
no
man.
signing, no money giving us, no letting us stay in your house, little wisp of a man. Drink this. Is it poison?
I do love the imagery of Cory driving to the house, either himself holding the cup going, I am not putting this down, or putting it to Peggy going, do not drop that. Just protect it with your life.
Yeah, because you're talking a few miles, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. But and it's here where Alan is finally able to explain to Cory what's been going on for the last 2 episodes. And I want to read his quote.
Yes, please do.
Because Cory is saying, well, and Cory's telling him, we fixed the pipe ourselves. And how do you feel about that? Proud, very proud of us, okay? Topanga and I are going to paint our place. We're going to put up a bookshelf. And someday when we can afford it, we're going to buy that house with a nook without your help. Now, what do you have to say about that? I'd say you finally figured it out. Welcome to being an adult. When your mother and I got married, we had nothing. Nobody would help us. We did fine. We didn't know it then. This is Amy. But it was the sweetest time in our lives. We fell completely in love because we knew we made a life for ourselves with nobody's help but our own. And Alan adds in, yeah, I would never take that away from you, son. And what they did is they wanted Cory and Topanga to be able to stand on their own with only each other to lean on so that they would know what it is to be together, to lean on each other, to be adults and to have to survive together.
Yeah.
He wanted them to be adults. He wanted them to, as the kids say today, to adult. But it's during those times where you grow the most. And to just tell them, they wouldn't have heard it.
Correct.
And Cory proved it because Alan had this whole dialogue with him the last episode, and he didn't hear it. All he heard was no. He didn't hear anything else Alan said. So just telling them wouldn't have done any good. They had to experience it. And I've been, oddly enough, I've been on a lot of Reddit boards in the last week. And this episode, for some reason, has gotten a fair amount of discussion in the last week or so. I don't know why.
Interesting.
And
Because they knew we were coming.
and for some reason, still today, it's a debated topic that people still have a problem with how Alan handled this.
Right.
And there's still people today that are that have a hard time seeing what it is to let them stand on their own feet
Mm-hmm.
and experience this for themselves. Now, there is one thing I might have done different. I might have offered help to Cory if he asked for help with the pipes.
Right.
But Cory
I
didn't
think
ask.
he would have, yes.
I think Alan might have. Alan tells Cory he wouldn't have, but I think if Cory would have asked, he probably would have helped.
Right. Yeah, the one thought I keep having I have two thoughts. The two major thoughts I keep thinking about through this episode is I miss that simpler life that Sarah and I had when we first got married, when we were in our third level apartment that was super hot in the summertime and an ice box in the wintertime. Because heat takes a while to travel up.
Mm-hmm.
And just there was a simplicity to our life back then. We did everything together. We literally just, the moment we got home, it was just the two of us. And there was something special and magical about that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss it. I wouldn't trade this time period for that time period. Absolutely not. But on the same token, for this episode, it's not as a quick turnaround of you go from having support to no support. Like, I'm a firm believer that in actual life, it's these slow progressions,
Mm-hmm.
like getting off of your family's cell phone plan, getting into your own cell phone plan, getting on your own health insurance. All those little things just kind of come into play and all happen in due time. Like, Sarah and I were several months in before we got a lot of those things figured out. And with me
Mm-hmm.
still being in school, it made things not happen as quickly as they could have. So, yeah, I think it was the quick turnaround for both. We were not going to help you at all, too. We're so proud of you figured it out, is very dramatic.
It is. And a big part of that is, hey, this is 22 minutes. No, this is 20 minutes.
Yep.
That we have to tell the story here.
Yep. Which is why this needed to be part of the two-parter and spend less time separately with, like, the other cast. I'm sorry. This should have been truly a two-parter that truly focused in on Cory and Topanga and their struggle and not listening to people.
Yeah.
I'm happy that Sean had his realization, but this should have still been more focused on Cory and Topanga.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And Eric's new relationship, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So we go back to the tag, and Angela and Rachel are in the dorm room. Apparently, Angela's solution to the apartment was she moved in with Rachel into the dorms. Jack and Eric have moved back into the apartment with Sean.
Yes.
So this is how the living arrangement is now. It is how it will last until the end of the series. And Eric has a new love, the dog.
Yes. But this is also now the point where we downgrade the importance of the apartment, and it is no longer as important as it once was.
Yes.
Like, I think we need to start taking a tracker, Brett, of how often we go back to the apartment, because I swear we get like 3 episodes, maybe 4 episodes at this point, where we're like, intentionally it's important that we're at the apartment.
Yeah, because now we've got the new set with the married dorms.
Yes.
We've
Cory and
got
Sean,
Cory and
they hang out
Topanga's.
there. Cory and Topanga hang out there.
Yeah,
Yep.
we've got Cory and Topanga's living room. We've got Cory and Topanga's bedroom.
Yeah.
We don't need the apartment anymore.
No.
We've got storytelling there.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that is our episode.
It is.
Yeah. So Tyler, you got some deep dives for us this week.
Yeah, let's do that.
People, 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 people. Am I the only one who read the summer reading list?
Well, for starters, Brett, would you like to pull up the text message I just sent you?
I would. I opened that link and I got a Zillow listing.
Yes, so that Zillow listing is currently, it's the closest I could get to Temple University. Is not exactly what they were looking at, but would be roughly what it's comparable of what type of living arrangements they would have. But nowadays, 85,000 would get you for 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, to be a part of like a townhouse, duplex, complex type situation, condo situation.
Yeah.
With 100 square foot in Philadelphia. That's what we're looking at right now.
1,032 square feet.
Yeah, it looks rough and it's tiny for sure. But you know, the comparable of what that is, and it's I'd say it's a starter home. It's a place to start.
It's in solid condition and offers as an easy renovation with strong potential.
Yeah, which is not bad for a starter home, having strong potential and not as much space to deal with.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, from the pictures, it's not bad for starter home.
no, it's pretty good. Although I will say I would not mortgage my parents' home to get that house.
Oh, no, I would not mortgage my parents' home to get this house.
I'd mortgage your parents' home to get the starter house, but
You can mortgage my parents' home. They rent.
All right, we'll get to that at a different time. Let me see what we got. Okay, Brett, the chancellor of a university. Chancellor of a university or college is usually either the executive or a ceremonial head of the university or the campus. In most Commonwealth or former Commonwealth nations, the chancellor is usually the ceremonial, non-residential head of the university. In such situations, the chief executive of the university, the vice chancellor, someone who may carry additional titles such as president. I don't know. I feel like the word chancellor has really gone out of the way. I think Palpatine kind of ruined it for everybody. So most often it's dean of, or president.
Yeah. Yeah, Pembroke's kind of hoity-toity to have a chancellor.
It's really true. Yeah, so this whole co-signing business, it's not illegal. But basically, if someone has limited or poor credit, would have a low down payment, or insufficient funds, or unsteady income, they could have a co-signer, and that person then takes on the responsibility of said loan if they were to fault on it. The problem that they have is that they would require, for this particular loan, which it's not that unreasonable, but for the Matthews house to be considered collateral, I mean, it's one thing if they said, "Hey, can you just do a equity loan for us?" Because honestly, they could get a lot better for that, but they didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Could you gift us some equity so we could buy a house? They didn't do that either. So, Brett, I always wanted this as a kid. I'm sure you did at one point as a kid too. What is a nook?
A nook. Yes, what is a nook, Tyler?
They're very obsessed with it. It's a small, cozy, tucked away corner of an alcove often underused, that transforms into a functional and inviting space and relaxation, reading, dining, so on and so forth. So examples would be a breakfast nook, a reading nook, a window nook, a closet nook, or a hallway nook.
I had a house once that had a nook at the top of we had a stairs that went up to the nook and then up to the rest of the second floor. So we had a reading nook midway up the stairs.
Did I see that house?
No, it was in Indiana.
Oh, okay. That was before T.
Yes.
BT.
That was BT.
Anywho, Brett, let's get into and have a nice, good discussion about this whole water situation.
Okay.
Because on the
Let's talk
surface, one could argue you can't fix a sink this way. Unless there were some tools just hanging out down there, what did Cory actually use?
Yeah, I don't see what he could have done to fix any pipes under there that would have that type of a bearing on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing he could have done was jiggle something, and what really just needed to happen was to let the water run longer to clear itself out naturally.
Yeah. I can say, honestly, Brett, here's what I think happened. Because something hit him whenever the water started running. So clearly the drainage was just not connected. So he probably just screwed that sucker back on, then let the water run, and literally that's what did it. Is he just let the gunk go out? Because one could argue that apartment wasn't truly being used for a month or two potentially, for the condition that it's in, and the whole murder situation, and the fact that Cory and Topanga weren't running the water. So I honestly think he just ran cold water and it ran through.
Yeah.
Which means he didn't fix it. It just means he just let it flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that the question is that from Google of what to do if you have brown drinking water, the first thing it says is flush the cold water. Just let the cold water flow, and if it keeps going after that, check to see if hot water is the problem. Just observe everything, make sure there's no I'm adding to this of just make sure that there's no other leakage or any sort of problems around the lines. And then you can also call your utilities because maybe it's a widespread problem. And then lastly, call a plumber.
Yeah. Boil it.
Boil it, mash them, stick it with a stew. Yeah, no, I'm again, this is a university housing. The fact that the condition of them moving in was not made up to code, up to date beforehand is ridiculous to me.
Totally.
It's kind of illegal.
Kind of. Yeah.
I mean, unless it was they had to sign an understanding of you take it as in condition. If you would like to improve it, it's on your dime to do so, blah, blah, blah. But
even then,
that should not be.
Even then, that's the condition that you're being handed it in is still illegal.
Yeah, I'm convinced now that Topanga chooses to go into law because of this whole situation.
And then sues Pembroke for everything they're worth and gets a nice loft in Soho.
Yeah, those are our deep dives, Brett. Because I mean, what else could Cory have actually done under that sink?
Flirt with the spider.
Yeah, it's licking me.
Well, let's talk about what we learned then.
You know anything about the Odyssey? Huh? Did I say you could talk?
I didn't teach you that.
My friend Mr. Matthews will lead the discussion.
Do I have to draw you a picture?
Well, what did we learn? Let's see. Eric's a
first.
Teletubby.
Oh, I forgot about that. I meant to have that.
I'll go with the with the obvious one. There are challenges to marriage that need to be weathered. The mark of a good marriage is not how you fare in the easy times, but how you get through the hard times. Those are times of growth and discovery. Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Tyler? What did you learn?
Sometimes you can be the right messenger, but you're in the wrong season to deliver that message.
Mm.
And it's good to reflect when it's thrown back in your face. Doesn't mean what was said, what you said still can be true, but also what they say about you is also true.
Yep.
Yep.
Good
I
stuff.
do like that both of them have things to reflect on. You wish you could have had a conversation with the two of them at the end of the episode.
Yeah. That would have been good.
Yeah. Bring him back in and say, help me out, buddy. What do you think over here? You think this? You think that?
Yeah. It'd be great to see that.
No, we can't have that, Brett.
We can't have nice things.
No. We got to start pulling Cory and Sean away from each other.
All right. Well,
I'm right?
No, you're exactly right.
So am I done with my education? Can I go?
how would you grade Picket Fences?
I've always said about this run is that it's truly banger after banger. As we were sitting here talking about this episode, my rating just kept going down because I'm like, I love this episode. I know I love this episode. I love the message behind it, but something about Sean's actions, Angela's actions, throwing Rachel in weird ways, especially the way that Eric was treated, though funny, I have a problem with. My dadness is getting in the way. So I have to give it a B- because I can't go above that at this point. My dadness won't let me.
I was trying to guess what your grade was going to be here on my end. I had a B+ in there for you, but yeah.
Yeah, I almost went B+. I am now, as we're talking about it, more disappointed than I was before. I will turn this car around.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go with you there at a B-. I mean, at its core, it has some solid teaching.
Yeah.
But a lot of the pieces it uses to get there are just so out of place.
Yeah, well, if they could have just set up, Brett, about Angela and Sean being now living together, like romantically, and they could have just kept the same. Make it a two-parter, Brett. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, you were fine. That was my piece.
You know, the tone shift. I don't know why, but it hit me so hard from last week's episode being very down in the dumps, and this week's episode they were like, "Let's get us back up," and like the tone shift did not work.
Well, it suffers from a lot of what a lot of two-parters do, because this is the second part of last week's episode. And a lot of two-parters suffer from the conclusion not being able to live up to the setup. And it does not conclude strongly. The message that they wanted to set up is there, but they don't stick the landing. with everything. They try to add in too much in the process.
Yes. I don't. I almost think this should have been an episode where Eric and Jack weren't even there, other than to be like sideline characters. Like, you could have had a moment where Jack and Eric were trying to cheer them up and make clear of, remember when you kicked us out of our dorm room, and realizing they're part of the problem. And also, Cory's going through a lot right now, and his brother does not care.
Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to be tight, you know? You wanted to be my best man.
Yeah.
You were my best man at my wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Brett, hit me with some dad jokes. I need to laugh.
All right. So,
Pretty girl.
Pretty girl. 3 tons of hair were stolen from a wig factory. Police are combing the area.
Very nice.
You know what really makes me throw up? A dartboard on the ceiling.
Yep.
And one more for you. Parallel lines have so much in common. It's a shame they'll never meet.
Very nice, Brett. Very nice.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. Well, good looking people, that's it for us for this week. Thanks for sticking around. And you can always check us out on our social media channels at dadsmeetworld across Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter/X. We are most active on Instagram and Facebook. And you can send us an email at dadsmeetworld@gmail.com. And hey, leave us a review or a rating or wherever you get your podcast, because that lets us rise in the algorithms so that more people can find us and lets us spread the dad love.
Yeah.
So until next time, I'll see you good looking.
Back to you, good looking.
You know, how can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid? Let me touch something!
This is good TV.
Honeymoon! Read the Bible! Was that duckies? No, garbage.
We are the Timmers.
Dads Meet World is a production of Headfirst Studios. Headfirst Studios. Tell your story.